You thought this was bad because of the casting and whatever. You have no idea how bad they made this. Honey, why don't you read what's on screen?
Certainly. Eric finishes his bloody journey and is given the choice to let Shelley come back to life if he is banished to hell in her place.
And I am literally going to tell you that is exactly what happens. The movie ends with him banishing himself to hell to bring back his girlfriend, who, by the way, is a drug addict who literally gets put into rehab and meets him in rehab. And in rehab, you meet Eric for the first time.
And he's a wimp! He is an autistic wimp! He's not just wimpy, honey. He's an autistic wimp. He does nothing. The only interesting thing about him that they never touch on was him trying to save his dying horse by trying to pull the barbed wire off of it, and then him rubbing the scars from the barbed wire, and then him having barbed wire tattoos, which they never go into further detail on. I wanted to know about that.
So the movie is literally awful. And the reason it's awful for the most part is because they like to cut around a bunch and they don't give any context as to how much time has passed.
Literally, they meet and then they're in a room together and they suddenly like each other when it could have been the next day, the same day, a week later, 2 weeks later. Then when they escape rehab together, you never have any concept of when that's happening. Then all the time they spend together afterwards, you don't know how long they're spending together. They give no timestamps for anything.
And I want to make clear, they are running away. The whole movie starts with Shelley getting a
video on her phone. Ugh. It makes no sense. Try to explain it. It makes no sense.
The main villain in this movie is a man who has made a deal with a demon.
Actually, he is
a
demon because he mentions something about being around for centuries.
But they don't explain that. So there's this guy and what he does is he has the ability, if he whispers in your ear, you will do whatever he says. So he whispers in a woman's ear and has her kill herself.
Yeah.
How this works? Why? We get no explanation.
Literally
There's none.
I don't get it.
And the whole movie is these people are chasing Shelley because she has a video where in the video he whispered in her ear and told her to kill somebody, and she has the video of it, so they're trying to catch her, and they manage to she gets arrested on purpose to get into a rehab.
So that they can't find her. And then they suddenly end up finding her and she's like, no one's supposed to know that I'm here. Shelley, if they have that many resources at their disposal, they're going to find you no matter what you do unless you literally go off the grid or get out of the country.
Which, again, they escape the rehab somehow. They don't explain how.
The rehab is built like a prison, so that's literally not how it's going to work.
But literally, what's the weirdest part is they cut to them being in a room together and they're, getting intimate. And they cut to like this whole little montage of them like going swimming and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, how much time has passed? What's going on? What's happening? They don't explain. And then what's worse is they found her in the rehab like super quickly
because they don't give a concept of how much time she's been in there.
Literally, they don't explain any of this. They just make it seem like, oh, they're in love, which, by the way, they do not sell at all.
Bill and that other person have no chemistry. And it's a shame. Bill Skarsgård is an incredible actor, but in this, he is completely wasted. And it's a real shame.
I want to make very clear. You meet Eric as he's being bullied by a bunch of people and he's wearing a pink shirt.
Yeah, for some reason the rehab prison suits are pink.
Yeah. So, long story short, let me explain this as quickly as we can.
Try to explain it, really.
So, finally, like a good halfway into the movie, I kid you not, is when they finally start getting into the, oh, we're going to die thing.
Yeah, when they finally get murdered.
So Eric dies, and he ends up in this like other world with the Crow Man. I don't know that's his name.
Never given a name. He's just someone with a relationship with the many crows that are there.
And he feeds them the line of sometimes a crow brings the soul back, and Eric doesn't care and is like whatever,
send me back. I want to get her back.
And so he sends him back, but he's still a wimp. He doesn't know how to fight.
What made him love her? She's not likable.
Exactly. So they rush this relationship. So you look at it and you kind of go, "What am I supposed to care?" But he goes back because he's going to save her. But wait, it gets weirder because he has the ability. He's Deadpool now. Basically, anytime he gets hurt, he heals immediately with intense pain.
Yeah.
But it's really weird. It's really weird. He does not survive. He dies again, and he goes back to the Crow Man. He does this like 3 times.
Yeah.
Throughout the movie. So he's not even the Crow well enough. He has the ability of powers of a god and he can't die and yet somehow manages it anyways. At one point, he's in too much pain, so he dies. And at the other point, he kills some people and apparently he doesn't like it, so he drowns
it was because he saw
himself in
the no,
bathtub.
it was because he saw the video of Shelley killing the guy and he began to doubt her, and because his love for her was no longer pure, he lost his ability of immortality.
Yeah, so the Crow's not the reason for the immortality. It's that he needs to have pure love for this person, which again, by the way, they've given us like 5 minutes of screen time between them and made us think that he's so in love with her. I'm not buying this.
No.
And in the end, the Crow guy tells him, "You can't go back anymore because your love isn't pure and Shelley's being banished to hell and it's all your fault." And he goes, "My soul for hers."
Yeah. And then the guy's like, "Okay, this is your last chance." He sends him back, and then he goes, and then only then, third act, does he go into full Crow getup, which looks like the Joker. And for some reason, he starts killing people with a sword instead of a shotgun.
Yeah, he doesn't use guns. He doesn't use guns.
It's right after he comes back for the last time he's using a shotgun, and then the rest of the time he's using a sword.
But wait, it gets funnier because there's a bunch of big bad white evil men that he has to kill. And I pointed this out and we had a good laugh. There is one woman who's bad too. And rather than killing her right away, he talks with her and then he kills her, but you don't see it. They cut away before you see her die. With the other guys, they're showing him slicing their heads open with a sword and chopping their arms off.
For some reason, he has a katana, and it was never explained why he has a katana. Nor is it ever explained why he's suddenly going all emo.
But literally, it was weird because they literally cut away and they don't show the woman dying. And in the end, he somehow finds the demon man and drags him back to the other world with the Crow Man, and that kills him.
And even the demon man is saying, "Why are you doing this? For some nameless whore?"
Yeah, and I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Why are you doing this?
He actually said it. And I was like, yes, that's what we're all thinking.
Yeah, he literally was like, "Why are you doing this? You have the powers of a god and you're giving it up all for this whore." And I'm like, exactly what I'm thinking. Why are you doing this? You haven't convinced me. You haven't convinced me that they love each other.
Not at all.
You made them drug addicts. And then at the end, literally, wait for it. At the end, Shelley's revived. But wait, you think, oh, he's traded his soul for hers, right? So that means that she goes to heaven and he goes to hell.
No, she literally just comes back to life and he ends up in hell.
No, he dies, so she suddenly just comes back to life and she's suddenly breathing again and she turns over and Eric is just dead.
And and we're supposed to believe she's sad about it because she's crying.
And she's crying and the guy's like, "He fought really hard for you." And it's like,
but why? And also, Crow guy, who are you? We're never given his name. He has no explanation for being there. He's literally just the exposition guy, plot convenience guy.
It's a disoriented mess of a film, and honestly, something that it wouldn't have made it a better film, but something that would have helped is if they timestamp things. Like, let us know that it's been 6 months, so let us know that this has happened. You didn't even do that. You don't explain any of this, and there's suddenly characters you throw in for no reason, and Demon Man, and it's just like, my wife asked me, because she knows my least favorite movie is Where the Wild Things Are, right? Mm-hmm. So she asked me, what did you ask me,
On
honey?
your scale of where the wild things are to Back to the Future, where does this movie scale?
And I said that if it was a movie, it would scale further than Where the Wild Things Are. The problem is, I would rather watch Where the Wild Things Are because the issue with that is it's at least a movie. This thing is so disoriented and so confusing that I don't even call it a movie.
Yeah. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Nothing makes sense. Nothing is explained. Nothing should be happening as it should be happening. And it's just bad. It's unbelievably bad.
So I'm gonna give it my rating. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give it my rating to end this off.
All right.
So here's my rating. Do you want to know my rating?
Please tell.
If it was a movie, which it's not, but if it was, because I'm sorry, a movie has to have some kind of plot. And like other movies that I don't like, for example, like The Last Jedi, even if I don't like it, at least it has some semblance of plot to it. This was so disoriented and so weird that I literally wouldn't even call it a movie. But let's, for pity's sake, say that I called it a movie. I would give it a 2 out of 10.
Really? I was going to give it a
2.
1. That's generous.
I give it a 2 out of 10 because it made me laugh.
I mean, it made us laugh for the wrong reasons.
Are you tired of Hollywood always letting you down?
Do you feel your sanity slipping as your favorite franchises fall apart?
Looking for a bit of therapy to help you through the madness?
Well, we might not offer actual therapy.
But we can offer a weekly dose of laughter and insight into the world of pop culture.
Join us for Psychosynopsis, where we tackle the latest and craziest in entertainment, with a blend of dark humor and a touch of analysis.
Tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific and let's laugh through the madness together.
We'll see you there.
Like the video break, the algorithm style, share with your crew. Escape life's hell, from spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure.